Hello and welcome to another video. In previous video I showed you how to develop a graph rag and a naive rag using Neo4j knowledge graph, how to develop an AI agent using LangGraph and connect your Neo4j knowledge graph as a retriever to your agents, and how to develop a supervised multi-agent agentic rag and control two different agents, one as a search engine and one as a retriever. In this video I want to show you another type of rag named light rag. If you already know the concept behind light rag and the difference between light rag and graph rag, just pass this section and go to the development part. Otherwise, stay with me. If you're new here, my name is Homayon, and in this channel I try to keep you updated with recent technology and show you how to implement them efficiently. So your like and subscribe give me motivation to make more videos like this for you guys. So light rag was introduced in October 2024 by the University of Hong Kong, and here is the official repository. The main idea behind the light rag was simple: solving one problem, giving those information that large language model cannot retrieve when they are using the vector store using knowledge graph. So this is the architecture, the system design behind the light rag. What is happening here is pretty simple. This is a document we want to use for our rag system. And this document is going to be saved in both vector store and knowledge graph. This process will happen in parallel. At the same time that your document is being chunked and being saved in vector store, an ID will be saved in the vector store too. And that ID will be used to make a connection between that chunk and the node inside the knowledge graph. During pre-processing, you have LLM calls. So what happens is that chunk will be passed through the LLM, and LLM try to extract information and try to ingest those information to nodes inside the knowledge graph and make relationship between those nodes. Compared to graph rag that we saw earlier in the previous video, these relationships and nodes in knowledge graph are pretty simple. This combination between vector store and knowledge graph will solve that problem that LLMs missed a lot of valuable information when it was just retrieving through the vector store and the process that we call a naive rag. When you look at this system design, a question will come up. What is the difference between light rag and graph rag? And when we should choose each of them? When you see the process of developing the light rag, you understand how much is simpler compared to the graph rag. In graph rag, we needed to define everything manually. Nodes, relationship, name of the nodes, name of the properties inside the nodes, name of the relationships. Here, everything will be happen automatically inside the light rag under the hood. You don't need to have knowledge about cipher query or define anything manually. Based on the official paper, the number of tokens being processed through the light rag is way less than the graph rag. And this can lead to quicker response to the queries. And this is the benchmark that you can see how much light rag is performing better than other types of rag in different domains. With all these metrics and higher performance, there is something you should pay attention to. When it comes to pre-processing the light rag, as I mentioned earlier, you need LLM calls to generate information and put them into your knowledge graph. This means lower speed of pre-processing and higher cost of LLM. However, this process is not a must when it comes to the graph rag. So if you're looking for something that is easy to deploy and maintain, it's fast in responding to the queries, and also it's cheap to deploy, doesn't need a lot of money for infrastructure, you can go with a light rag by accepting the fact that light rag needs time for pre-processing a step. On the other hand, if you want something that is able to do deep reasoning and you have the money for infrastructure and you don't care about how fast your response is being generated because accuracies matter for you, you can go with the graph rag. In order to use the light rag library, I'm going to install the package from the official GitHub repository that I showed you. As I mentioned earlier, light rag implementation is pretty simple and everything happens under the hood. So the first file that I'm making here is the ingestion file. And this is the functions for creating our knowledge graph, indexing our file, and also initializing our light rag. Let's go deeper and understand what each function is doing. The first async function is for initializing the light rag. It has a working directory, so we define the place that we want to save the cache during the pre-processing, and also the models that we are using for embedding and generating, and the storage we are using for saving the knowledge graph and the vector store, which in our case we are using the Neo4j storage, and we are using FAISS vector store for the vector storage. And finally, the chunk size and the overlap between the chunk. The second function that we have, the index data, what it does is reading the file, which in our case we're using Napoleon history, and using the initialize rack function in order to chunk our data, embedding them, storing in the vector store, using LLM call, and generating information about those chunks and ingesting those chunks into the knowledge graph, and doing all these things at the same time. That's the part that decreases the speed of pre-processing. The next file that I'm going to create is to retrieve the information. And this is the function for retrieving. Everything happens through the query param function. We are retrieving the top K, which are the 5 first chunks that are similar to the queries user entered, and the mode that we are retrieving the information. But what is the mode here exactly? If you go back to the official GitHub repository, you will see all the modes you can use to retrieve information. We're going to use the mix one, which integrates the knowledge graph and vector retrieval. Now that we have our both file for ingestion and retrieval, it's time to run them. Using this function, we are going to call all our functions: initializing, indexing, and retrieving. I'm going to ask who killed Napoleon, and I use the mix mode. Let's start pre-processing and then retrieving. And this is the response. After 5 minutes of pre-processing, embedding, and ingesting everything to the knowledge graph, my response is here. For sure, if I want to ask this question again, it's not gonna wait for 5 minutes. Now let's explore what was happening during the pre-processing and what is in our RAG storage. I'm going to show you the file that created the nodes in the knowledge graph. In this file, we have a source ID. That is the ID of the chunk. We have the content of that chunk, which is created using the LLM during the pre-processing. And also, this is the embedded vector that embedded this content and saved it into the FAISS vector storage. And this is the file that is saving all our chunks, showing how many tokens it's inside this chunk, and also the file path that is the source of this chunk. Now let's explore what was happening inside the Neo4j knowledge graph during the pre-processing. All these nodes and relationship is being saved automatically to our knowledge graph, and we have a source ID here which is matched exactly with the source ID that I showed you in our cache file. And that's how it is. That's how you can develop a light track. Simple, straightforward, and no need to have any knowledge about Cypher query to develop your knowledge graph from scratch. I just highly recommend you to study the repository, the official repository, to understand how to choose the right parameters for your light track. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I appreciate if you like and subscribe me and share this video with your friends. These are the things that motivates me to make more of this video for you. See you in the next video, guys.